Hello everyone, I am here with another amazing live session. I am Maria, facilitator and podcaster at Rehan School Online Academy. And today we have very talented and special guest with us, Dr. TPS from India. Now we first of all we learn about his professional journey, his life journey. So without wasting time, let's welcome our guest. And hello, and Dr. TPS, how are you?
Namaskaram, good, enjoying. Always enjoy. Life is good and great.
That's amazing. First of all, please, Dr. TPS, introduce yourself for audience.
I'm an educator, I'm an academician, I'm a writer. I keep traveling for lectures all throughout India and must have covered more than 1 million of teachers, students, and parents. Teachers, parents, and students. TPS.
I ask you, why do you suggest this name, Dr. TPS, for yourself?
I am Dr. T.P. Shashikumar. That's my name. T stands
Okay,
for Tavarul, P stands for Pudiyadat. So my name is Dr. T.P. Shashikumar means Dr. Tavarul Pudiyadat Shashikumar. The short form is Dr. TPS.
that's great. Now, please, can you share a bit about your early life? What inspired you to pursue your career in science and education?
I'm from a small village, very small village where electricity came when I was doing my post graduation. Telephone came when I was doing my PhD. So there is nothing great to inspire and aspire. Nothing is there. So it's a just casual learning. What do you do after plus 10? You will do plus one, plus two. After plus one, plus two, what do you do? So everybody grows for a graduation. So my village, there was no college. So those days, even plus one, plus two is not in my village. So I went to the neighboring city and then did my graduation. And naturally, who does graduation? They either go for a B.Ed, become teachers. The world was very small. So only when after my masters, when I went to a university, then I realized, yeah, there is something called research. Otherwise, never heard about a PhD in my life. None of my teachers were PhDs. So it was something very rare which happened. So it was just a flow of life as it comes and as it came to me from time to time. So it's not a well planned, well no orchestrated life. I have got a book called Life Made Simple, in which the behind the page I have written, flow like a river and grow like a tree. The river doesn't know where is it flowing, right? So likewise, I don't think most of the people today, there are people who plan what to do. Every day I'm giving a lot of career counseling, which course to join, which is good, which is not good. We never had such choices. But naturally, yes, mathematics was supposed to be one of the toughest subject for many. I thought I will do the toughest subject because my guardian, who was my brother, who was a professor, he told maths is very tough. You cannot do it. Then I said, I will show that I can do it. So it was like challenging my eldest brother was my passion towards mathematics. That's it.
That's great. Mathematics is also very difficult for me. When
You
I'm
can you
student,
can
I
learn
am
it very
doing
easily. See,
okay.
the every subject becomes simple only when you have good teachers.
Yes,
Yeah. So I'm sure you can learn cooking if you have got a good cook beside you, right?
yes.
And you can learn cycling 5 minutes if you have got a good person who knows how to cycle it. I'm sure that is very simple for maths is very simple, very interesting, logical. And if you're good in maths, I'm sure most of the subject comes in your hand.
Yes, that's true. Now, please tell me, how did your education at institute like Bangalore University and Usmania University shape your career?
See, after my Bangalore PhD, what I did was I joined Department of Space. And then my
Okay.
posting happened to be in Hyderabad. We have a Hyderabad in India. I don't know, where is Maria from? Which part of the in Pakistan?
Pakistan, Punjab province, and my city
Yeah,
name is
Punjab province.
Chichawatni. Yes,
Yeah, which place?
Chichawatni city and province Punjab.
Okay, which is the nearest town there?
Yes, nearest town Multan.
Multan. Okay, I know Multan.
Yes.
Okay, so what happens is we have got a Hyderabad here in India. That is where my Department of Space Scientist posting was there. So we had some university college where it's available, where somebody is giving an LLB in the evening program, so I joined for that. My education was always as a, yeah, when I traveling, I'm seeing something is good, join there and do that program. So I did my LLB in Osmania University, MBA in IGNU, and I did my MS psychotherapy. I learned many of the computer science, most of the programming languages. I was into graphics, I was into film editing. So whatever possible on the way, I started learning. And part of the office program, yes, there are a lot of subjects to be learned. So my basic profession 20 years was a scientist in Department of Space. So we
But you
become
have
very in the
you
forefront of the technology. So it's become so easy for us to learn things. Yeah.
you have done a lot of things. I see your
Yeah,
profile.
it's
Yeah.
old man, right? So I'm sure Maria also will do much better than me when you become my old.
Okay, Dr. Tps, tell me what motivated you to study at multiple universities and how did each experience contribute to your professional journey?
See, it all happens when I'm very curious to learn, curious to know, understand things very carefully. Um, when people come with some problem, I'll just see that no, I spend a lot of time learning it, understanding it. So when I was doing my PhD in Bangalore, my roommate happened to be an LLB student of law. So naturally, what happened was every day I'm seeing the books on the table. I started helping him in reading and understanding. So by the time I finished my PhD, I already learned law. So similarly, so many such projects comes wherein we have to do some activity. We want to learn some subject. I keep learning. Probably the degree comes later. Not that I learn for the degree and get a degree. I study with the passion and then comes a degree along with that. That's what I do generally. So it's not intentional again. As I said in the beginning, flow like a river, grow like a tree, right? So as the
Yes,
slope is, as there is an option, there is an opportunity, the river flows. Similarly, there is an opportunity, Dr. TPS learns. That's it.
that's great. What was your role as a research scientist at Department of Space, Government of
Now
India?
you are seeing Google Map, right? Today.
Yes.
Yeah, I joined the Department of Space in early 1989. And early 1990, I made Google Maps equivalent for our India for many applications.
Okay.
So that is why I said I know Multan, right? So I know each and every place around India because we get a lot of satellite images. So like Google Map will tell you details about the country today. I knew
Yes.
that for almost 20 years in Department of Space, I started looking at around the world, right?
Yes.
So my contribution is mapping from space. From the space, how do you map? That's my contribution. That's what I did for 20 years in Department of Space. But I'm retired for last 14 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you describe your experience as a chief scientist at your institute name is ISRO? Yes.
ISRO, yeah. ISRO is
Yeah.
Indian Space Research Organization. One role was the image processing, making maps and such things. And the rest was I was giving training. I was in the charge of photo lab. So I learned how to print, how to process images, how to process videos. And then also we have got a headquarters wherein things like project management, program planning, what to do next, 10 years of strategic planning. So many things happens. I was part of it sometime. And we also have got something to do with an HRD, the Human Resource Development of ISRO. So I was part of a project there. And that project has come to light, and then that became one institute today in India. So I was the person who wrote what can be done and how can we do that, and creating an institute was also part of my job. So it's again like I got an opportunity to work in the headquarters. I went there, and then I got an opportunity to work with the Prime Minister's Office of India. So I was there as a deputy director in Prime Minister's office. So it's all the opportunity which I got in my hand. I never left, so I utilized it. So space department, we have a great opportunity because we get the best missions available, the best technology available, training we will get. We can tour around, go around the country, learn multiple things. And I had a liberty because I was part of the first person to become the direct employee of a small institute in the Department of Space. So it was not part of ISRO, but yes, ISRO is a bigger umbrella. I was almost like we are an independent unit under Department of Space. We almost like It's a new project, new planning, lot of liberty, lot of research. Research and development was part of us.
Thank you for your answer. What are some of major products you worked at Space Application Center?
Yeah, this is what I said, the making the maps for different applications. There are plenty of applications which we have to make, and that I was part of the most of the applications.
Okay. As a former director at Calcutta University, what were your primary goals and achievement?
Yeah, my passion towards teaching and learning was always there. So I got an opportunity to go back to where I did my graduation in the same university to become teacher's teacher. So the university, a lot of teachers get a training under a University Grants Commission, which is the highest authority of the higher education in India. The supreme authority of higher education in India is UGC. I became a director for Academic Staff College, where all the teachers in the senior level professors and all get advanced knowledge, and junior teachers will get the learning technique, teaching techniques, and all that. So I was part of the director. So I got into that because of my passion. Because in space department also I did a lot of training programs, education programs. So that experience gave me into the university level. And during that time, I wrote a book which is called Adaptive Learning, which how to use your internet facility to make education much better, which I wrote 17 years back. 2007 I wrote the book. No time people were thinking about education on internet during that time. I wrote a book on how education has to be done on internet. And now recently I wrote a book on an advanced version of it, how augmented reality, artificial intelligence, internet of things, big data, all this can be used for creating the adaptive learning into the modern world. I call this world as 3-2-1 world, third decade of 21st century. So 2001 to 2030 is the time when people have moved totally into digital world, especially because of after COVID. So I thought that is the right time people have to use my old book. So I made an advanced version of that book very recently.
This means Dr. TPS is writer also. How many
I
books you
keep
write?
writing. There are 30-40 titles and books around me. You can look at my website. You can see a lot of books which are downloadable. PDF is also available.
I must check it out.
Yeah.
How did your academic institution influence your approach to education and research?
That is what I'm saying. Every day what we have to do is, when we are in a new organization, we don't know what is to be done. We have given a freedom to do something, and all the facilities are available. Go for training, whatever you want to learn. So education and research is part of everyday job for 20 years, and I think that has gone into my blood. So even today what I do is I keep writing. Now next week I am going to Sri Lanka. So what I'm doing is how that adaptive learning, how that internet of things can be change useful for changing the education system in Sri Lanka. So I'm writing a book. I'm on that now.
And
That's
that's
what I do.
great. Okay. As a CEO and founder, what are your primary objectives?
See, you must be mentioning or referring to that what I am called Shiksha, SHIK. I was an aspirant of civil service which rules the country. Then I decided, yes, why not make more children know about this? And the first thing what I did is, again, same way, I have got few students where I taught, and all the experience of teaching them is made into a book called Civil Service Prelims Handbook, and which I thought I must propagate and then start doing it. So that's the first task which I did. Then next it went to making children to have a lot of soft skill, lot of life skill. So I have a old house in my hometown which is called Nanam, wherein many people from different parts of the world, not even from country, from outside, almost all the Gulf country students came to my house and then started staying there with me, and then started learning the life skill practices. So I've got wonderful children, maybe thousands of them came and stayed with me, learned the life around a village, how that runs. It's in a small village, and give them a guidance for their career planning, life planning. That is how I turned myself into a life mentor. So I have changed. Today also I must have had many number of calls. Which engineering college to learn, what is to be learned, whether engineering, computer science is good, electronics is good, mechanical is good. So many such questions keep coming. So I keep answering all of them. give interview, and most of their mother tongue in the my mother tongue is also a different language called Malayalam. So most of the interviews are or discussions are on that. If possible, I put that into the YouTube, so you can see a lot of people get benefited out of it to design their life. So that is what Shiksha is meant by, or that is what Shiksha does. Shiksha means education. The
Okay.
trust Shiksha, for which I am the CEO and founder director, is Shiksha. Shiksha means education. Shikshak means the teacher. So I am a Shikshak in Hindi, and Shiksha is education. I think Urdu also tells the same thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. TPS, now tell me, how do you balance your responsibilities across multiple leadership roles?
I told you, there is nothing great about looking at this, a great responsibility and all that. How do a mother look after the child when they are cooking? How do they do their day-to-day activity when they're doing something? So I'm not, I am the master of my time, right? So I pick up only activities where I have got time. Do you know how many Pakistani people like you give a requirement for a Facebook request for my interviews? Average per day I get 20, and I reject
Yeah.
all of them, including Maria's. I rejected in the beginning, you must have seen. So what happened is, somebody will keep, I may send a message to them and see whether they are messaging back. So when they message back, I only put one question. I know this is what the purpose is, and immediately ask, give date and time. That's the only thing which I do. So you fix the
Yes.
date and time. I'm sure Maria gave tomorrow. Then I asked, why not today? Because what
Yes.
do I expect? Tomorrow I am going to have more busy. So if I can get, actually after this, soon after that 8 o'clock, another thing is that. So what do? I finish as early as possible, and don't ever postpone what I can do now, even a 1 hour later. Finish it now. So
That's
that makes very
wonderful.
easy
Yes.
for us to, yeah, that is what we should do. Why, if I can do now, why not now? So I only asked Maria, when you asked tomorrow, I said, asked, why not now? Correct, because I am expecting more number of people to get benefited. Some more queries will come. At least there are 17 missed calls now by this time we are discussing, and they're all new numbers, so I'll have to answer all of them, right?
Yes.
You have to keep track.
Thank you so much. You gave me your precious time
No, it's
today.
not my time, Maria,
Yes.
it's somebody's time,
Okay.
right?
No, it's your
If not
time
you,
also
somebody else.
because at this time you are guest. It's your time also.
Yeah,
And
I have got my
yes.
family sitting there and watching movie. I could have also joined them and then enjoy, so I am closing my door and coming and sitting here. So yeah, it's
That's
possible.
why
You have to
I
balance.
thanks again, sir. That I thanks again.
So
Thank
I'll
you
tell
so
you,
much for
Maria, life is
for
always balancing three things. One is role, another one is goal, and another one is values. I value somebody's learning education, sharing my time for somebody else. That is my value. And then for which I will have to little forego my roles and have a great goal. My goal is, I keep talking. You don't know how many places when I go around India, I keep talking. I love Pakistani young people. They interview me more. They wanted to learn much, but Indian people doesn't have that much interest. You can listen to my talks. Most of the places I keep saying Pakistani people are good. The youngsters, just because of my great friend, who is motivating all of you to work. So
yes.
I keep asking and telling people I am not able to do what Rahan is doing there. So I must tell that Rahan is a great person, not like me. I am very small. I am not doing much. I am not able to motivate such youth to make such programs. So I
But
always envy on
you are also a
what Rahan
great
is.
personality, Dr. TPS. You are also a
But
great,
I am not
amazing
able to.
personality.
Though I
Yes.
wanted to make people like Maria, who look for opportunities to interview multiple people in the world, learn so many things, and all that what Rahan is doing, I look upon and then see, oh, I don't know, I am not able to do that. We had a discussion also the other day. We were discussing each other and saying, how can you do this? How can I do this in India? That was my question. So if possible, probably I will have to jump into that. I'm seeing opportunities. I'm talking to many people. That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yes. Now please
What
tell
do you
me
do,
what.
Maria, otherwise?
Otherwise, I am conducting online classes and learn
Okay.
and teach learning, and I also learn and teach students on online platform about AI technology, about interviews. Those who
Wonderful.
have weak in speaking English, I also suggest them how to improve your communication skills in English.
Wonderful.
Because in level
Wonderful.
because in level 2 in our course we just suggest our students to do foreigner interviews. Then you
Good.
don't accept request of Pakistani people, you must have your friend with foreigner people.
The
And
other day,
person
so many
from,
of your
yes,
youngsters
yes,
in seventh grade was interviewing me, and they were telling it is their first interview for a foreigner.
yes. And people from different areas have different culture, different language, but English is global language, so we must
Correct.
understand it,
Correct.
yes. And we must
Correct.
learn
Well done.
English, yes.
So much. So good. Thank you.
And I also spread awareness of AI and technology through my podcast.
Good. Wonderful.
Thank you so much. Now, Dr. TPS, please tell me, what are challenges you have faced in advancing education in India?
See, what happens is now people are more worried about certificates, not knowledge.
Yes,
Everybody
that's
joins in a
true.
program
That's true.
just for certificates. That's a big problem, right? So I don't believe in marks. The other day one elderly lady was talking to me on education of her child, and she was telling there is a college where everybody fails. No people are passing. I said it is wonderful. I am seeing colleges where everybody passes without knowledge. And what happens is that college, with a lot of paperwork, they get an autonomous status. I'm saying that autonomous college will start giving everybody pass certificate because they can decide whether pass or fail, right? So I asked the question: do you want somebody join a athletic competition? Everybody wins first prize. It should not happen, right? So only the
Yes,
first person should become first prize. So the merit
ji.
has to be evaluated, but that's not happening, unfortunately. Everybody passes 10th class, everybody passes 12th class, most of the people get graduation without much of knowledge. This is
That's
a big
true.
problem. This is a big problem. That is not good for education. So there is a lot of devaluation in education, and most of the people after graduation today, or even for graduation, they go to Canada. You go to, there is a Punjab in India. I was traveling through small places in Punjab. I saw most of the places there is a board which says you want to go to Canada for education, Germany for education, London for education. Everybody is going there. So can you imagine a country, all the wealth goes to some other country for education, and once upon a time, your Takshashila in Pakistan was part of Bharat, the United India, and we were one of the most famous educational people in the world. Correct. So we lost all that
Yes.
tradition. Now people from India go abroad for studies. People from India go abroad for getting job. That is what I wanted to make a difference, and that is what I'm trying to make a difference in the youth.
This is same in Pakistan. People are
I'm
moving
sure.
abroad. Yes, people are moving abroad for education, for their career, and
No,
this is
but
bad thing.
at least what happens in Pakistan and India, people come back at least some point of time. But I have seen people from Afghanistan, once they come out, they come to India, they go to UK for study, they never go back to their country.
Yes.
Right. The other day, I had a friend of yours who were interviewing me, and she got educated in Dubai, but came back to Quetta and then started her own school. Right. So at least people are coming back. India also, some people are coming back, but much worse is some of the situation. Today morning, I was taking a class for Philippines on MBA, Master of Business Administration, and the research scholars who are all the postgraduate, post doctorate fellows on global marketing of business, finance, HR, and all that. So I was telling this concern. You can import things and then get into your country, make products, and then send it out. But don't send the people out. No,
Yes.
that is what should happen. We are lucky that we are in the Asian country. We have got a lot of resources, and we were ruled by a small country like UK. Now UK is in trouble. Now the you can see for last 14 years how many prime minister changed, instability, the
Yes.
instability, lot of turmoil. Now the party changed the rule yesterday. The 5th July was the prime minister which changed, and the new prime minister came. We will see what changes happens, right?
Now, Dr. Ribit, how do you envision the future of education, especially in context of technology advancement?
I think unless, that is why I said 3-2-1 world. I wrote a book on the teacher's role in the 3-2-1 world, how students have to get updated, how adaptive learning has to come, because now everything is available. And then unless, but you see, the every software is written by human, and a human touch. I don't think all these questions can be written down and you can have an AI Maria asking this question. But I'm sure you cannot have an AI Dr. TPS answering like this. And when I am answering, the emotional feeling, the attachment, the smile, everything cannot be programmed. So there is quite a lot of human touch which needs to be added. And I'm sure that quality of doing it is still in the human. So no teacher can be replaced. But what is to be replaced is the technique of teaching has to be replaced. I keep saying, earlier in my, when I was a child, we had a blackboard, and we all had a slate, which is called a slate, which is a miniature of a blackboard. And we also had a white chalk. The teachers write on white chalk. We also write with a white chalk on the blackboard, the black slate. But today teachers are moving to the smart board. Every
Yes.
children should have smartphone. Correct. So the learning pattern has changed. But education has always more responsibility, and it's a big data. Earlier we had only small little to low. When I was doing my master's, computer knowledge was only a 3 months program. We never had a 6 months program because that much knowledge was not there. But today the whole life is not good enough to learn that science, right? So we have
Yes.
lot of input data coming, software coming, design coming, changes happens. All these have to be understood. Therefore, teachers have to become most advanced. The people who can understand the technology much faster become the best teacher today. So I was asking the other day, I was there in one of the place called West Bengal. It is 2000 kilometers away from this place. I went there to teach the teachers of the young children. And I was asking, who is the best teacher? What is the answer, Maria? Who is the best teacher in the world?
At this time, I think best teacher is must be updated and have awareness of technology
No,
and
I'm asking
AI.
who. The
Acha,
answer
who?
is the answer is Google. We have
Okay.
a teacher is one who will
Yes.
teach us, right?
Sorry, I
Correct.
forgot that. Yes, Google, Chat
Understood.
GPT. These are the best teachers
Yeah, everything
at
is
this
on the
time.
internet. Right?
Yes.
So who is the best
Yes.
teacher in the world? Internet is the best teacher. Google is the best
Yes.
teacher. Understood.
True.
So
That's true. Yes.
I should not try to become a teacher who ignores the best teacher. So I always should refer to them there. A best doctor is one when there is a problem which I cannot treat automatically, I refer to a best specialist. So a best teacher is one who can refer the Google and then tell, yeah, this is what Google says. But there can be a lot of logic which are required for you to filter and find out which were what is to be said. So a best man or best teacher, best student is keep on asking WWWWH. Where, when, why, how, what.
Yes, that's
Immediately
true.
when you said Punjab, I asked where. So it starts with the W. And you say Multan, then okay. Then I asked what do you do? That also starts with the W. Okay. You asked how are you doing? That starts with the how, H. So I think WWWH is the world today. So how many such questions you can ask, you become most knowledgeable. So my aim is making children to ask such questions. That's what I'm doing. I believe that is the role of teachers today. Answer will be available on Google, but there are no good students who will ask questions. That's why prompt engineering is the best engineering today. So if there is a prompt engineer, I'm sure you know how to design things, right? You should have that question,
Yes.
WWWH. That is what is to be done.
Asking question is most important skill, I think, at this time.
Yes,
You
yes,
must be
yes. That is
aware of
what
how to ask question and what should we ask at this time.
I'm saying. You are good, and that is what I want a few people in India to do it, but I'm failing. Probably I'm failing. I'm sad on this. I have to try more. Probably I'll try more and more.
Now, Dr. TPS, tell us about your biggest achievement in your career.
What is biggest achievement? See, as a small child, what do you do? Things is the big one, right? But when you keep on doing many, many big things, everything together becomes a big mountain. And I don't think I should tell that this was a great project which I did. But probably one of the great thing what happened was when I was doing my graduation, my brother got into All India service. It is called IFS, IAS, and all that. So my brother became an All India service person. So my intention or desire was to become an All India service. I could not become. But the highest office of the every civil IAS, Indian Administrative Service, the end last posting is Cabinet Secretariat. I could become a deputy director without becoming an IAS. Understood. So reaching
Yes.
up to, and every day, every month I had a dinner with the Prime Minister of India. So that is not a small thing, right? So I'm sure
Yes. Mm.
starting from a small village, passing through the different career, doing many things, and then reaching to that position. And then today, what am I doing is I'm touching the life of different people with all that experience which I gained. And that is what is the motivation for my life ahead. That's what I'm doing every day, every moment.
Okay. Now tell
I'm
us
sure that
what.
is why you are interviewing me, right? If I would
Yes.
have been a space scientist and I would have been in the government job, I don't think Maria will interview me like this. There are 20,000 people in this country, probably much higher than me or equivalent to me, who are part of the Department of Space.
No, I
But
will. I will interview everyone. I will interview from 10 years of kid, from big personalities to big personalities. I interview a lot of people, which say yes to me, and then I will do interview with you.
good, good.
Okay. Now tell us what have you learned from your professional and personal life journey?
See, I believe that you have to be 200% busy. You can become successful only when you keep yourself adding jobs to you. Don't say I am busy and then suspend your activity. Correct. Always
Yes, that's true.
finish now and no postponement, and learn from every small thing. When I'm talking to you, yeah, Multan I have seen long back, but then immediately when you say Punjab, I know, I'm seeing the map, I know this is the place. So the map comes to me when I talk to somebody from Pakistan, right? When somebody from
Yes,
Islamabad, I will tell you, oh, this is the road like this is the crossroad like this, it looks like a cross. Every place, you come back to that place, what you have done, what you have seen 10 years, 15 years, 20 years back, when you talk to somebody else. So that ability people should have. So I am enjoying every moment by talking to people, understanding people, traveling. And that memory of getting back to the old thing what we have done is what is called cherishing. So I cherish my moments. And creating such cherishable moments in life is what life is. That is why I call LIFE. Life is live in full enjoyment.
that's
Learn in
wonderful.
full enjoyment. Learning is an investment for future earning. So every moment you start learning, I'm sure you will become enjoyable. That is what is to be done in the life.
I must follow your instruction. That's amazing. Now tell us how do you describe success?
Success is a succession of successes. Climbing one mountain is not great. When you climb that mountain, you see another mountain. And when you see the mountain, climb that, you will see another mountain bigger than that. Understood? So when in
Yes,
life, when you learn something, you understand, yeah, there is much more to learn in this life. If you don't learn, you will have no knowledge. When you have knowledge, you will start spreading your knowledge more and more. So success is always temporary. Keep on adding success to success to success to success. It's like a train compartments adding. So you will have so many successes together become a success. When you get in the grade 10, you get first rank, you become great. Only one day your picture will come in the newspaper. Only one day you can put on Facebook saying that I am in the first rank today, right? After that, the value goes. So you'll have to wait
yes.
for the next examination to pass. So every day is part of our adding values. It's like a mountain climbing. Every step becomes important. And when you look back, you will see, oh, I have climbed this much. So that gives you a lot of courage. Success is always something which you have to evaluate, see, so that you know and get courage for climbing more and more.
That's a wonderful answer. Can you tell us how some strategies to achieve our goals?
What you should do is, now today is 2024 July 6th.
Yes.
2025 July 6th, Maria will get a message from me saying that last year this day I was with you. Understood? How
Yes.
do I do that? How do I do that to many number of millions? You know how many telephone numbers and contacts will be here? How many Facebook accounts I have? Lakhs of them I keep in a systematic order in which, based on the date, I know how to respond to them. I may do it, may not do it, but yes, I feel like doing it on that day. Maybe not today, after 10 years I will do that to you. Got it?
It's
So
a
be systematic, keep in order. Lot of big data, but all the data has to be indexed properly so that you can refer it faster. Don't invest time, spend time, because you are not systematic, you are not punctual. So it is very, very essential. Number one. Number two, now you keep, if you want to progress in your career, write down, I am on this July 6th, I am here. By next 6 months I am going to do all this. Next 6 months to next 1 year I am going to do all this. So keep making a graph where you are going, your path. When we want to construct a house, I'm sure we will have a plan. So if you have to construct your life, you should have a plan. Correct? And use all
yes.
opportunities. Today I gave a talk in Philippines for business. Immediately there was a other person was also giving lecture. We were together on the stage, half an hour me, half an hour him, half an hour me, like that. Immediately I said, we are going to write a book. Next 3 months we will write a book on Philippines business models. Okay?
That's
Use
great.
all opportunities. Don't skip an opportunity. If Maria want to write a book, whatever you have, you document and put it together, and then we'll start writing a book on how English can be taught, how soft skill can be taught. That becomes a book. Your experience sharing, knowledge sharing, put together. The skill and knowledge has to be added together with experience. That becomes wisdom. When you document it, write it clearly, your thoughts will become more clear. So writing is essential. A good writer is always a good speaker. Not all good speakers are good writers. So
That's
writing
true.
is at a higher level. So you must always have that ability to write. That is very, very essential.
Thank you so much for your precious time. It's a great pleasure and it's a great honor to conduct your interview. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maria.
I,
Keep
I,
in touch.
and
Enjoy.
I'm really enjoyed your
Thank
company,
you so much.
you're talking and learn a lot from you. And we will uh, conduct another session very soon.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I am with
Thank you
you.
so much. Okay. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank
Goodbye.
you. Take care. God bless you. Inshallah, we will see it soon again on that.
Thank you so much.